It's time to leave your cinematic troubles behind. Let the takes flow through you. And let the noise from the zeitgeist subside. Welcome. The Cast Against Time.
Welcome to Cast Against Type. I am joined by also host Matthias Stefan Frankelstein, and I am host Colin J. Dixon, and we are in the very fortunate position to be joined by a specialman. A specialman. He's a special. Now, before we intro you, I just have
special education.
Boy, did he. I have one question before I actually give the people your name. How do you pronounce the name of the place that you live?
San Pedro.
Pedro, he did it.
Not Pedro. No, wrong one.
Yeah, wrong one. All right, good.
Yeah, you'll get stabbed if you say Pedro. Pedro.
So for all you folks who aren't Angelinos, he just passed a very serious litmus test. If you fail it, yes, you will end up on the short end of a shiz. And who's dropping this knowledge on us? It's none other than Michael T. Royer.
It sounds like it'd be a T.
Could be a T.
It is not
S?
a T.
Is it S?
Nope.
K.
You got 24 to go. Let's
go.
go.
Okay, well, shit. Just drop it on us.
J.
Oh, he's a J
he's
too.
another J.
That's
Wow.
right. What do you think it is?
James?
Well,
I was blessed with a seriously boring name.
You're one episode too late.
For the Schlubs episode?
No, he incorrectly guessed James on the last episode.
Yeah, yours is Joseph, if I remember.
Well, son of a bitch. I wanted to open this up. Open us? I want to spread us open with a question that I feel we can all contribute to. What do you got to say about old Carl Weathers?
Oh, we were just talking about this earlier.
Well, tell me.
Good riddance?
No,
he's great.
So I've heard all these biographies that they're, you listen to the radios and such, and they're dropping his CV on us wherever you go.
I thought you were going to say something else.
And I feel like there's some things they neglect to mention, but so I want to know what is your quintessential Carl Weathers role? What is your quintessential Carl?
QC. What's a QC?
Yeah,
QC?
what's your hot Carl?
Jesus. Your hot Weathers.
Listen, it's like looking in a mirror 10 years ago, because I would have said that. Apollo Creed, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
But I loved him in Predator.
Yeah.
But, you got a stew going.
Arrested Development.
I mean, he had so many,
You know what? Can I honestly...
Oh, here we go.
This is not going to be some hot takey bullshit. I agree with Apollo Creed as being the number one, but can I say, I don't think Action Jackson gets enough love. I really don't. That's a movie that's like a guy's got his balls in a jar in that movie. And he's really trying his goddamnest.
What does that mean, balls in a jar?
No, there's literally a scene where the antagonist has a man's balls.
I was asking the same thing.
No,
I haven't seen it.
Oh, wow. Well,
but
please.
now I'm gonna, for sure.
Well, if anybody takes anything out of this, and by the way, this is number 2 out of an onslaught of... This is number 2 in the queue. For all of our listeners who value cantankerous rambling, this is the episode for you, because we're all pretty soused.
Well, this is why the glasses have come out.
We're pretty soused.
The glasses have come out. But no, I think Action Jackson, if everyone's going to tune out right now, which is highly possible, put it in your queue. I want to know how people feel about it.
Was Action Jackson like his attempt at a breakout?
Yeah, and it's not successful. I mean, Craig T. Nelson is the big bad in it. Coach. But
this was prior than Coach. Yeah,
it's prior to Coach. Is it post Poltergeist?
This is when Craig T. It's pre-Polter.
Interesting.
This is when Craig T. was considered to be like a sex entity of some sort.
You keep throwing these people out that you say are sex symbols, and they never were sex symbols.
Society said it.
Sex entity is gonna...
Look,
great.
When we came out of the 70s, and everybody that was a sexual
You didn't
monster,
come out of the 70s.
No, not me. The society did. And everybody that lived through that had to deal with the hairiest protagonists of all time, like these grungy, sweaty, dirty, greasy men. Here comes Craig T. Nelson, and he's clean cut, You know, he's
Shorn.
Bald.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty clean cut up top. Yeah.
He doesn't look like fucking Serpico, you know? And like, I think people were ready for Craig T.
You were just throwing these sex symbol accusations out.
I did not. This was not my doing. This was Carl believed this.
He's dead.
Yeah, and that's why we can say things like he believed that Craig T. Nelson was a sex entity.
Yeah, who's going to stop us?
You can't libel a dead person.
Okay, so you are Apollo Creed.
Only because, I mean, that was the big thing,
You have
right?
to say Apollo Creed.
You don't have to, but that's...
No, I'm not saying you have to but like there's...
answer, yeah.
I'll be the Apollo
That is the
Creed,
answer.
because that's the answer.
Yes, okay, I'm with you there. I do think that Predator role is pretty fucking special. Somebody, like, called out his Toy Story voiceover.
Oh, he was in, like, Toy Story 4.
Was he the dinosaur?
I don't know. No, that was, what's his name, from My Dinner with Andre.
Oh, Wallace Shawn.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Ooh. It's old news now, and by the time this comes out...
Was he the Jackson in the Action Jackson? Was his name Jackson?
He's Action Jackson, yeah.
Does somebody
his
call
first name?
Does somebody call him Action Jackson in it, or is that a self-proclaimed nickname?
Sure, some like kid on the street does. I don't know. His name's probably like Reg.
But you've seen the film. I'm asking as a person who's seen
I
it.
don't remember his character's name.
Is he a superhero in it?
All I remember is his burgeoning sexual prowess.
I thought you were going to say something else again.
Breesh. I'm thinking about Carl, even though it's. I'm thinking about
Yeah, you
Carl.
are.
We miss you, Carl. Can I ask you guys a question? Is anybody a fan of the old Band of Brothers?
I've just started to watch them.
Just started.
Yeah, I never watched
How
them.
about you, Mr. Royer?
I have not watched it.
Never seen
And
it.
it's on my list. I watched the Pacific,
I
but
feel like you'd love it.
I feel like I would love it.
You watched the Pacific, so that's a Band of Brothers joint.
You're getting.
It's kind of alternative.
It is a
I
bit.
probably should have watched Band of Brothers.
I think I know where this is going.
I would love it, so I will watch it.
By the way, we should give Mr. Royer a bit of a background. So he is working in an entertainment adjacent realm, I would say, as are we. Now, I'm not going to say the company. So look, all I will say is we are a subsidiary of a big company that has problems. I feel that he's uniquely qualified to talk about something. Actually, this ties into what Mr. Royer does, because he's kind of a steward of digital CGI things and graphical things. And can I ask you guys, when did it become anathema to film a fucking scene outside?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Heaven forbid you go on location.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand that a film shoot. Yeah, sure. The sun goes down at a certain point, and that's not cost effective. But so I'm watching Masters of the Air.
Yes.
It's a Band of Brothers joint. Band of Brothers was a thing that was born out of Spielberg's big war epic. Why am I blanking on the fucking name of that movie?
Saving Private
Saving
Ryan.
Private Ryan.
Shaving Ryan's Privates. And so that
was a good laugh for that.
yeah, thank you.
I saw an Instagram post that it said Band of Brothers was like, "Hey, war is hell, but we forged a lot of bonds here." And it was Pacific was war is hell, and it's just complete hell. And then Masters Air is like, "Party, boys' night."
Yeah, well, that's definitely part of it. But the other thing is that it's such a CGI boondoggle that I can't lend it any emotional gravity. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Every single scene. So this is not a spoiler for a show that's not over yet, but
we won.
They literally will land in a location. In one situation they land in Africa, and they're watching like a sunset, and you can just see these guys just standing in front of a green screen artifice bullshit.
And you want them to go to Africa?
Yeah, don't go to Africa. Go to Death Valley and shoot California for Africa. That's how they used to do it for 100 years.
And it worked.
Yeah, it was great.
I agree, but it's just
I do think
many
your green screen takes you out of it immedially, almost.
Well,
you can't
yeah.
take it seriously too much, right?
But it also probably doesn't help that Austin Butler is like your main lead, he's still bringing his Elvis.
He has teachers trying to get his accent away from his mouth. 3 years.
Isn't he Australian?
That's a weird thing to
man.
admit.
He's just like he's like stuck in this weird hypnosis. Apparently,
I'm sorry. This sounds like old man rambling. I just aren't the Chitlins also upset with this when they see it?
They don't care.
They should.
What
though.
children is watching Masters of the Air?
That's a fair point. Well,
What person under 30 is watching that show?
Okay, well then I put it to you, children. If Mr. Beast didn't actually hand out $100,000 checks to if he handed them out to robots or CGI or whoever he's degrading for his latest video, wouldn't you be upset, children?
Thank you.
All right.
That needed that. I don't.
All right.
Is Mr. Beast a game guy?
I don't know.
No, he's like a. This is gonna.
I know
age
this
us
is aging us
so badly. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
I'm proud of it.
He
Fuck
knows.
Mr.
He
Beast.
knows who Mr. Beast is. He's just.
I mean, I
playing
know
coy.
the name.
Well, no.
No, I'm saying he does.
I know
He's an X-Man.
I know
He's
him.
a fan. He's a beastie.
Okay. Well, first of all, I know him about as well as I know the Pauls. Like the Paul
Jake and
brothers.
Logan?
Yeah, Jakey and Logs.
That was really quick.
Which, yeah, you might be
really-
more fan than we are.
Ohio, baby.
Well, so which one gets his face regularly beaten in?
He's actually doing well, which
Yeah,
is
they're
bizarre.
good fighters.
Jake, I think, is the boxer.
Okay, well, whatever. He had to.
Logan is the parasite.
Which one exploited a Japanese suicide forest?
Jake, I believe.
Okay, good to know.
He's
Good to know.
multi-talented.
Yeah, that's the one way to put in it. But I believe Mr. Beast is now this again. Sorry, children.
This is better. I just want to hear.
No.
what you
Think of it this
is.
way. There's this popular meme now or popular video trend where it's like we're gonna play Smells Like Teen Spirit to a 12-year-old for the first time and you watch their mind get blown. This is the inverse of that. We're gonna speculate about what Gen Z memes are.
They're immediately going to change the podcast.
I think Dr. Disrespect is some sort of game dude. That's
Okay.
all I know.
Yeah, either
I could pick him out of a lineup, aka
could you?
Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Who is Dr. Disrespect?
He's some weird
Marvel
mustachioed
villain?
game. No, he's some weird mustachioed game dude. He was on the sidelines of the Niners.
This is
Okay.
getting into Liver King territory right now.
It is.
Well, I mean,
we're-
that's what this show's about. It's
Yeah.
about exploring the cultural zeitgeist in
It's-
terms of entertainment.
letting the kids laugh at us.
Oh, I've seen this fellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He's got a good look.
I'm into it.
He's very hirsute.
Well, look, I mean, I'm not going to say that there's not YouTube rabbit holes and shows that I don't watch, but
I think he just does video game run-throughs and makes quips. And
oh no, this
people
guy
love him.
does. This guy, yeah, that guy does.
Disrespect?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Disrespect does.
Was he like Call of Duty? Is like his big thing?
He was on WWE.
I couldn't tell you.
He's very popular.
Well, so there you go, children. This has been the cantankerous YouTube speculation hour.
That's right.
This is not what this show is about. What show? What show?
You might ask.
Cast Against Type, a show where we try to restore some sanity to the discourse as it pertains to cinema. And we do this in one of three ways. One, by addressing the cinematic conundrums submitted by you, the listener. Two, by unpacking the ideas and assertions we stumble across out there in the media, be it social or otherwise. And three, by occasionally subjecting ourselves to mysterious media oddities. That's what we're going to do today. Again, this is number 2. This is how the sausage gets made.
The kimono is open.
I don't know where that phrase came
So
from.
corporate.
Yeah. Jeez.
We're taking this offline.
have you
into
been,
the-
Whatever, Black Rain.
Yeah, jeez.
Open the kimono.
Well, and so this is our inaugural guest episode, and we could not be more thrilled. But part of the thrust of the show is that this is meant to be a show for everybody. Mr. Frank and I were prompted, urged very heavily by a friend of ours to invite Mr. Royer on because apparently he's something of an aficionado when it comes to talking about old films. But then we've heard subsequently from Mr. Royer that he does not share this opinion. We're going to find out tonight.
We're going
But
to pull it out of him.
this being the inaugural guest episode, we didn't have to source a take for our first segment. The first segment would have been about addressing your problems, your submitted conundrums and queries. But tonight we don't have to do that because we have the source bringing a question, concern, topic to us. And because this is the Soused edition, it doesn't matter what it is.
Oh, okay.
It
Well,
could be anything.
That's good.
So we're going to eschew our normal mode of operation and we're going to ask you, is there anything that's been on your brain, burning in your brain when it comes to the world of cinema? Could be anything.
Not really. Let's go.
All right, guys. Well,
We're done.
Nice talking to you. Cast Against Type at Gmail now.
Well, my superpowers, I've seen a lot of old movies in the theater, but
God bless you.
and it's kind of died off since then, but whatever.
So you don't feel particularly current, which is fine.
I don't feel particularly current, which is
It is what
I
it is.
apologize.
It's
I
all fine.
apologize.
We're excited to have you, our first guest on the new show. Do you have a question, an observation, an
Idea.
idea,
Well-
a thing that's like just springs to mind? Because this is what we want to be. What would you say? The docents of good ideas. We want to be the
Sure.
the arbiters of right think in terms of cinema. Even though we're not qualified.
Just say what you have
and-
to say.
It's kind of Maoist. The arbiters of right think.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
so
There will be violent repercussions as well.
I was listening to a previous episode, and you, Mr. Matthias X Frank, was mentioning that he likes the communal aspect of going to the theater, right?
Yes.
But in a way, it's sort of like, how is that? I mean, does that make sense? Because you kind of want to watch a movie with people, but have them, at the same time, shut the fuck up, right?
So like an individual experience
see what
amongst
you're
other
getting
people.
Right. So I was thinking that maybe if a solution to the problem might be if we could, in a theater, you could blast out, high-powered Bluetooth audio, so where you could bring in your own headphones to the movie and watch it.
Like a choice. So
Like
you
a
didn't
choice.
have to do it, but it would be
You
a
don't
choice
have to
if
do
you
it, but
could.
you could choice, and you could do that anyway with like your AirPods Pro. You could like put it on the. But would that encourage people to yak more?
Interesting. Okay. This is actually very interesting take. Well, so first of all,
Thank you.
so as we mentioned in previous episodes, we value the communal experience of the theater. But as we've also ascertained, and as Matt loves to rub in my face, I don't have a great track record at the old theater.
You don't.
And most of it has to do with
You.
being surrounded by scum.
Saucy.
Sorry, it's very true. And most of them come in the form of being on their fucking phone, talking too goddamn much. I mean, I've already celebrated the Alamo Draft House. So if there were a way to circumvent that problem, in your case, you're saying maybe Bluetooth technology, headphones. That's interesting. Well, so first of all, there is such a thing as like Bluetooth concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys remember like the darkest days of the pandemic lockdowns.
Yeah.
Which was a hoax, by the way. Anyway, no, but there were actual outdoor Bluetooth listening parties, which I remember passing by and thinking, well, certainly the virus can't be transmitted through airwaves.
But they also do that for like just events. Like
I think
I've been to a rooftop one.
I think it's called silent discos.
Sure, but they do
music.
that with movies too. They do it on the roof.
I've done the roof. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoy it, but we're talking within
No.
like.
But
the
we're-
inside
I mean,
of
they're
it.
going to have to do something, right?
But you're right. So the technology exists, and so the phenomenon exists. Well, so tell us about your Bluetooth viewing experience that you valued.
I think that we really enjoyed it, but in thinking about this prompt and this scenario, when it's like a date night and you're kind of like, oh, it's like this fun event and you're just viewing something on a rooftop, you don't put as much emphasis on the quality or kind of what goes into it. I would be curious if my feelings would be the same if I paid for an IMAX showing
Right.
that had a huge sound system and
Right.
the headphones diminished that quality.
So that's a great point because, and maybe this leads us to part of why the theater experience is dying anyway, because I do feel like certain audiences have learned, for better or worse, that you don't really miss a lot. You're not missing out on a whole lot if you're not catching, I don't know, a silent, weepy indie drama at the theater, because ultimately the DTS or Atmos theater setup that they have there can't really bring much more out of, Downton Abbey, the movie. There's not a lot that like watching that on a THX setup and IMAX can do for you. Maybe that's why people lose interest. Maybe that's why younger audiences can't go to those fucking movies and pay attention for more than 5 minutes. But the problem is, I have seen this fucking issue happen at the biggest, loudest, dumbest IMAX extravaganza Mission Impossible 25, Tom shoots his dick into space, whatever. So that is a problem. It is a problem everywhere.
Well,
but that's a problem with like people can't behave in public anymore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So you brought this prompt up. What are your feelings about it? And
I think it would help solve an issue, but it would probably exacerbate it because people would feel okay to like talk as much.
So
They might
it's
feel
Like, oh, they got headphones on, they don't care.
yeah.
And it would just be, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think
I don't think
you're
it's a solution, but
because it might put them more in their own bubble, and they're like, "Well, I'm alone. I'm an individual, and I'm a snowflake, so I can do whatever I want."
Yeah, well, especially to his point, if you're one of the people that didn't partake in the headphones, you're like, oh, 90% of the theaters in headphones, I can just respond and talk and be on my phone as much as possible.
I think I missed that part of it. So you're saying it would be optional that some people can wall themselves off.
I think, you would be able to give like an option.
Yeah.
You'd say, okay, here's the code, the Bluetooth code. So.
We brought this up on a previous episode. So this is a thing that AMC did, and by the way, I fucking love AMC. Just love it. I love it so much.
We love Stubbs.
Brought to you by AMC.
I am the stub.
Our new sponsor, AMC Stubbs.
I am the stub.
You're the Stubman.
The thing is, though, as much as I love AMC, they do some wacky shit sometimes. I don't know if you've heard about this, but there was a gimmick that they had at one point when they were trying to stave or mitigate this issue when they decided that they were going to do social screenings. So it was like a special ticket that you could get where
Just kind of give up.
Audience gone wild. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That would have been a better name for the ticket, is the We Give Up ticket.
I mean, that's not the worst idea. I mean,
No,
if
no.
you know what you're getting into.
You're gonna, and then you just sell tickets.
But
it's almost on you if you go into a social screening and expect a good experience.
Yes.
They have like kids showings where like the you can like bring your toddlers and just go nuts, right?
Oh my God. Thing is, that makes sense because your fucking kid can't help itself. Although I would argue that it should be able to fucking help itself. Because you know what? How old is old enough before you get these assholes a job and make them contribute?
4. I think 4 is the age where you should start having children employed.
Well, at
because
the very
they're a
least,
real drain on your economy.
I mean, they're a drain on my attention. That's for goddamn sure. No, but that
You
makes
just
sense.
sit there all day and shit.
I can eat a fucking slice of apple.
Can you?
What makes you special, Caden?
Caden.
Listen. Well, no, but okay, so
Is that a vape pen?
No.
I was going to ask you about this pen. Mr. Royer has been sporting a pen, and it seems like it's got a
Linus has a
ceremonial-
blanket. I have a pen.
Support pen?
Is this an emotional sport pen?
Yeah, fuck you.
Wait, no, I want to know. It's got a white stripe on it.
Oh no, I attach it to the cord on my sweatshirt.
Oh, I love it.
Oh boy.
No, but the thing is with the child screening is like it makes sense because like kids can't help themselves, and that's what's sad is like what do we call it, the public shame ticket? Like that's just a version of society going fuck it. I mean that's like the most idiocracy shit I've heard in a long time. Just like just give them a ticket where they can just go and fucking jerk off and just vomit on each other and like I don't know, they can play Switch in there too. I don't know, like, what's the fucking... Oh, they're going to see Schindler's List? Yeah, that's a great place to fucking
They're not
it up.
selling Schindler's List tickets to social gatherings.
I'm just saying. What are we doing?
They're giving, like, Neighbors 3 tickets to these...
Neighbors 3?
Full. Yeah.
There's a 2?
Yeah, there's a 2.
God damn it.
I didn't see the first one. I just know there's a
There's a
second
Neighbors
one.
3?
There's a Neighbors 2. You were so excited. You wanted to see Neighbors 3.
I haven't seen Neighbors 1, clearly.
You see Neighbors 2, though?
No. You'd have to see the first one, right?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen any of them.
Very integral to the plot.
Woo!
What I appreciate about this question, Mr. Royer, is that you're trying to solve a problem that is one that is serious to cinema goers. And honestly, I think that, there's been a lot of talk about the death of cinema. And, I think that's overblown. There'll always be a place for people to go see a big, dumb, loud thing.
I don't know.
I do think that what keeps us... I do think the thing that has been the nadir of the $60 million budget movie, or like the thing that is... Like the movie that's not a big blow-up bullshit is that people aren't going to turn up for like a mid-tier budget thing, and it's because they don't want to combat with that shit anymore. I mean, that's certainly like the most mid-budget thing I've seen in a long time was, God, what is the name of the Creator? Is that what it was? Gareth Edwards' latest thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Well, I saw it. I went to the Alamo Draft House because I just wanted. I was like, I just want to know what it's like to go to a movie that's never going to be celebrated ever again. That's like going to be seen by.
It was very mid, wasn't it? It
It's
got a
very
lot of
mid.
mid.
It's fine.
I didn't see it, but
It's worth a
The
watch.
definition of a mid movie, yeah.
But yeah,
we're
yes.
so
As the
hip right
kids
now.
would
Point, it
say,
might be
it's
good.
mid, super mid.
It wasn't cringe though. It was just mid.
Wasn't cringe. It was just mid. But the thing is, I enjoyed.
But it wasn't lit.
I
either.
enjoyed the experience. It made me feel like I lived back in the 90s and the 80s again, where like I could just go to a movie that was made for, I don't know, mid-tier budget that starred sort of famous people.
Like you're watching RoboCop or something like,
No,
or
how-
Dread
whoa,
or something.
Whoa.
No, like it made me feel like I was watching I don't know, something it's like a James Mangold film from the early 90s.
What was the one? What was the one where they're trapped in the tunnel?
Daylight.
Daylight.
Yeah, like you're going to see Daylight
Yes, that's great. That's
That
great. Daylight. It made me feel like I was seeing Daylight or Volcano.
with robots. Daylight with robots.
Or-
Dante's Peak.
Dante's
Well,
Peak.
hold on. Dante's Peak or Volcano? I think Dante's Peak was the better one.
Oh, it's a better film, but Volcano's more entertaining.
Who's the lead in Volcano?
Tommy
Tommy
Lee.
Lee
Oh,
Jones.
Brosnan's way better.
But who's the? Oh, and is it?
But it was
animation?
more of a volcano.
Yeah,
like
but
not some.
Also,
Is Pierce Brosnan's Dante in it? Is that his name?
Yeah, but also
Okay.
No.
So
No,
it's
no,
his
really?
peak?
no, it's no.
No.
Dante's the name
Of the
I'm
volcano?
guessing it's the name of the volcano. That's a great question, actually.
What's the name of the volcano in Dante's Peak?
All I
I
re-
assume Dante.
All I know about Dante's
hell.
Peak is that there are only two famous people in it and no other famous people. Linda Hamilton and old Pierce.
Okay, who wants to raise your hand if you think Dante is the name of Pierce Brosnan or the name of the
Well,
volcano?
because
I think
this is an audio podcast, I'm going to say I believe that it is that Dante's Peak is the name of the mountain.
I agree. I don't think it's the name of Pierce Brosnan.
What have you been drinking over there?
What do you mean?
Jesus.
This is a serious
He's been
question.
drinking pure mescaline.
Pierce Brosnan's name is Harry Dalton.
Yeah, there's no.
Harry Dalton.
Why would it be called Dante's Peak? Oh, did he just visit it?
He could be peeking.
What's the name of the mountain?
Yeah, it's
Like-
Dante's Peak. Here's a more interesting use.
I
of
love
our
that we
time.
went this way.
Go search, pull it up on IMDb.
Pull it up.
And tell
Jamie.
me if there's
Pull it up, Jamie.
any other famous. Yeah, pull it up, Jamie. Tell me, what did Alex Jones say about that child?
I don't know, man. I don't
Oh,
know. Something in the water.
I heard that. I heard skeletons are turning into aluminum. Well, pull that up. Would you pull that up, Jamie? I heard
Here's
that.
our Joe Rogan invitation section.
I don't know. Yeah, that was. He was a bit too southern. Anyway, here's a more interesting use of our time. Pull up Dante's Peak on IMDb,
Now.
and now let's see if there's any other famous person besides Linda Hamilton and Pierce Brosnan. If you recognize one other famous
Oh,
person,
that's good. That's good.
I will do a shot right now.
The only one that
Be real with me. Do you recognize any other famous people?
but famous is such a subjective word.
Anyone that you've even seen before?
Yes.
I think
Okay,
name
who?
them, and if we
Tell me.
recognize
Grant
them,
Heslov.
no, not
No, I
not
do.
for me. You gonna do a shot?
Shot.
It's not gonna be- but you know, Grant Heslov is such a that's a cop out. So I'm going to do a half.
How's
then.
that a cop out?
I don't know. I
He's
don't know
not
Grant
that.
Heslov, though.
He's
That's
not
why
even,
I said that it wasn't a
What's
big,
the name of the mountain?
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Tell
It
us the
doesn't
name
have
of the
it
mountain.
doesn't have a credit in
Why is it called
IMDb.
Dante's Peak?
I will find. Anyway, Dante's Peak. Dante's Peak had a more of a traditional volcano look, as
Okay,
opposed
yes.
to
No,
the
yes, it was
Wilshire.
It was a cinema verite, as it were.
Dalton has a wary eye in the Cascades, town known as Dante's Peak.
This is Radio Gold.
Oh.
So named because somebody has been reading. So named because somebody had been reading the Inferno.
So volcano, literally, there's a lava flow that surrounds the city hospital, and all the cholos gang up on it.
On the lava?
Yes, on the lava.
Fuck that lava.
Do they shoot the lava?
They don't shoot it, but they definitely like put a unified front in front of it. This is neither here nor there. I really
Cholos versus the lava.
no, that's really what happened.
Cholo versus the volcano.
It's amazing. If you haven't seen it,
That has to be a media segment.
You just not got that
coming up
yet.
soon.
it's pretty special.
Pretty good.
It's pretty special. I'm not gonna. I don't want to ruin it for our young listeners who are gonna flock.
What
to
about
it.
Joe versus a volcano?
Can you imagine the guy who like who monitors the algorithm on like Apple movies, who's gonna see the 1% spike in volcano rentings after this podcast?
I would think they would flock more to Dante's Peak.
That's true. Well, you've sold it more. But so, okay, look, to put a bow on this idea, I do wish there was a way that we could separate the idiots that think that going to the movies is like going to the bowling alley. But I don't know if there is. And if there is, it's almost like and like, this is going to sound like a very authoritarian thing to say, but it's like almost like you would have to like find a way to scan somebody's brain and be like, how dumb are you? And I don't know, unfortunately, I just think that movie theaters need to crack down more. And it's hard to do when you hire 14-year-olds who literally just absolutely look like they've been decimated by rosacea.
Can I propose a yes or no question? If this technology existed tomorrow and you went to the theater, would you try it?
Well, okay, but actually,
absolutely.
let's
I would. 100%.
No, but I would try it. But here's the thing: we open this with the value of the communal experience. There is a thing where you can be invigorated by an audience, and that's really fucking into a thing. We were talking about Saving Private Ryan. I remember seeing that in, was it 97, 96?
97.
I remember seeing that in like a weird fucking boho theater in like Seattle, and like you could hear a pin drop in there. It was just, those experiences are valuable, and they add something to the movie. I don't know if we're gonna get that back though. I think the culture is.
Oppenheimer and Barbie was kind of like that.
Is the answer to this question then that you have to drum up enough viral interest in a movie before people can actually be relied on to go to it and not be a piece of shit? Maybe that is.
I think so, unfortunately.
Because like that's why those were a phenomenon. Like there's enough. The Barbenheimer thing was a thing before those movies came out. So maybe that's what you have to do. Maybe you have to find a way to make it culturally relevant, and then people will go and show up and not be pieces of shit. But yeah, in terms of like a weird sensory deprivation viewing experience, I mean that's coming already. I mean that's what these $2,500 Apple fuck you glasses, which by the way are no sexier than what we're wearing right now, all three of us. That's what that is. That's about creating your own private bubble. So I don't know. I think that's coming anyway. I'm always going to value being able to do it analog, I guess. I don't know.
Do you feel guilty ever? So I've had a few experiences at a theater where a Weisenheimer made a crack and it was funny, right?
And you laugh.
But technically, you shouldn't like it.
Well, it's only if you encourage them for the rest of the film. So I remember once, like I remember seeing Kill Bill in the theater, right? And at the beginning of that, at least Kill Bill Volume 1, there's a Nancy Sinatra song, Bang Bang, Shot Them Down, and the song goes on for a long time.
Yeah.
Bang bang, bang bang, bang bang, bang bang bang. That's what it sounded like, right?
Pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it goes on just like that, and eventually, like after like the fourth bang bang, this lady in the front went bang bang, like arbitrarily in the middle of it, and the whole theater thought it was amazing. Woo!
I know it's
But you
did not enjoy it.
It was a well-timed joke. She got one in there, and it was good. But it empowered her.
Oh, that's the worst.
And so she suddenly became the sorority girl at the fucking comedy club, where it's like, oh, she got in one dig, and now she's just gonna nag this movie for the rest. And she lost the audience, by the way, after that first joke, because then it kept going. She already lost. She Joe-coyed the audience real quick. Yeah,
culturally relevant.
Very culturally relevant.
A long applause.
I think it's worth it. I mean, it's
long. They're not clapping that.
It's for Joe. It's for Joe.
It's
give us your final thoughts on this, Mr. Franken and Mr. Royer.
I already gave mine. I said I'd do it.
Look at this guy.
Way to help. Wait,
Maybe
hey,
it's
hey.
his.
I already gave it.
Way to generate content.
Yeah.
I'm the one that proposed the button.
Yes,
of saying,
and
would
you're
you
like,
do
what?
it or not?
All right.
Humiliate him with a sound.
I would try it. I think it's worth a try. I understand the communal thing. I think we're at a point where it's worth giving it a try because I think we're a little too far gone with the movie going experience right now. Unless it's a big ordeal or a big event, I think the movie going experience has a lot of issues that are going to take a long time to undo. Okay. And so it would be worth a shot to try something like that.
But is that the future you want to live in?
No, but that's the future that I would rather. I would, or do that. You just become more precise with where you go.
Yeah.
But it's not the future that I would want to live in, but it's the future that is existing.
It's the one we've been handed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, fair enough. Well, you know what, Mr. Royer, God bless you for
thank you
bringing this to our attention. Actually, it's an interesting.
Well, it's the idea
thought experiment.
The idea of communal yet not communal is kind of odd, right?
Well,
you want to be around people, but
I mean, you can still if something happens and you're like, haha, and then you look over and the other person looks at you. That's still a communal thing, but you still have headphones on.
Yeah,
as we're doing now.
It's like watching somebody in another jail cell. I don't know.
Agreed.
All right. Well, but that's the future that
hold
we're
their
starting.
hand.
Listen, if this is the worst of our problems in the future, instead of sword fighting each other for water, that's fine.
Do you mean sword fighting like I'm thinking you mean? No, he didn't. And I'm in therapy because of it. Daddy never sword fought me.
That's a pretty good womp.
It was a good womp.
I thought that meant that Daddy loved me. All right. Let's move on, for Christ.
The dropping of the sake is great. It gives it more gravity.
Let's move on. This is a take that this is our number 2 in the list of ways that we try to bring sanity back to the discourse. And that way is by unpacking the ideas and assertions we stumble across out there in the media, be it social or otherwise. And this is one, the second way that we attack the stupidity. I said that like a lot like Werner Herzog.
Do the rest in his voice.
We are going to try and figure out the way to solve the crisis in the cinematic universe by exploring the ideas that we find in the social media.
Very Teutonic. Very Teutonic.
Yeah, I can't quite do a good. I used to do a
That's
good.
pretty good.
Werner. It's Werner, by the way. I'm listening to his audiobook, and he is narrating it, and boy, oh boy, it is a 14-hour read, but not because it's a long book. Okay.
If you put it on 1.5...
You just said you're listening to it, and then you just said read.
Oh.
Well, he's reading it.
You're not reading it, though.
Someone's reading it.
Don't do this. I'm not. I just said I'm listening to it.
Let's get it out there.
Yes, we had an off mic conversation where people are
Don't say you're reading something if you're listening to something.
Charlatans,
okay,
is what you are. Just you can say that you're listening to it. There's no less
shame.
intellectual value in listening to it.
We're talking about you. You said you're reading
he's
it.
reading it. You jabron. This is neither here nor there. This is from an article, and this is a dumb idea. So we're not going to give daylight to the person that wrote the article or even the publication that it comes from because we don't. Although I will say this is a rag that I've occasionally agreed
You love
with.
this rag.
Hustler, correct?
It's a rag that I've occasionally agreed with, but I'm not going to lie, they have a bit of a socialist bent. I'm not always on board with that. And
flicks.
In this case, they are taking it way too far. So the premise of this article is Wes Anderson's Asteroid City will please his fans and infuriate his skeptics, but that's just the headline. I'm just going to describe the thrust of this article because there's no neat soundbite that we can use to describe this other than the tweet that brought it to our attention, which is, Wes Anderson's films, even at their best, are affected and embody the sensibilities and values of the elite. Oh, boy. Look, we're too drunk to seriously tackle this topic, but so let's just kind of reflect on this article. So this writer, who I'm not going to name, goes through the Wes Anderson canon, and basically what she has to say is that she's fallen off recently. And the reason that she's fallen off recently is because she just can't connect anymore. And part of the reason that she can't connect anymore, well, she gives up a plethora of reasons. Some of them have to do with Brecht, which doesn't make any sense. Some of them have to do with the framing device. But ultimately, what the thrust of this article comes down to is that she just thinks that, Wes Anderson's just too European and wears too many suits. I just got to read a little bit from this thing. And this particular section of the article really should raise some flags for us. At the end of Asteroid City, the credits play over the song Freight Train, with its upbeat tempo, bright southern twang, and grim lyrics. And then she goes on to read the lyrics. It's clearly meant to reflect the film's combination of sunny desert setting and youthful space cadet convention with atomic mushroom clouds of doom hanging over them, which, by extension, evoke our current state of doom and denial. Then, in the middle of that culminating song, a crudely animated Roadrunner appears at the bottom of the screen and does a herky-jerky dance that lasts till the final image. Hard to explain why it's so infuriating and has such a huge fuck you losers effect. Does this nerd from suburban Texas think he's exempt from the human condition just because he lives in Europe now and hangs out with the cultural elite and wears bespoke suits? Man, I mean, really, project much. Just... This all really just boils down to a you problem, friend. So what do you make of Wes Anderson, Mike? Let's start with you. How do you view him as a filmmaker? Maybe you've fallen off of some of his recent work. Asteroid City was kind of a big buzzy movie until it didn't get any award love. And this is primarily focusing on that. But are you a fan of his? Do you think he's pretentious? Is he up his own ass? Even if he is, do you agree with what this article is trying to say? And essentially, again, to summarize it, this article is basically saying that his movies are for the elite because of the way that he makes them. It's an interesting premise.
I mean, I read this and I was thinking maybe it's a troll. Like a lot of reviews are maybe trolls, so you don't waste your energy in refuting them.
Yeah.
But I mean, if your claim is that something is elitist, don't go quoting, don't go saying it's Brechtian.
Right.
I mean, how elitist is that, right?
Well, okay, let me ask you this.
I do like Wes Anderson. I have fallen off in the recent years.
Right.
But I mean, he's great, and it's, you got to be in the mood for it, but don't read that much into it.
Well, let me ask you that. Let me ask you guys both this.
Don't get mad at it.
When because I think that even with the Wes Anderson lovers, there's a point in his movies or there's a point in his filmography when something turns you off. What is there a thing about Wes Anderson that turns you off? I'll start just to get the ball rolling. I think that the playing with animation and different media stuff can be effective sometimes, but also it can also very easily derail the inertia of a movie.
I was gonna absolutely say the same thing, and I think that in Asteroid City, some of that he leans into it too much for my liking, but that again has nothing to do with the elitism or anything like that.
And that's been a trend of his recent movies. So in Grand Budapest, he has a lot of claymation. He's done a lot of claymation films,
but those have been fully claymation. Yeah, it's when you're blending.
Although French Dispatch, there's a scene where it's fully animated. It's the Jeffrey Wright segment, and that stuff can be kind of jarring. But it's hard to watch that and go, oh man, the reason that he did this is because he just hates poor people. You know what I mean? So this article like brings it back to like Elia Kazan and stuff, and like already you can just see the kind of political leanings, even though I do agree with a lot of it. To dish on a guy that likes a filmmaker who, you know, had to, I don't know, get called in before the Hewitt committee or whatever. It's like, can we move on? I mean, it's not 1950 anymore. And Wes Anderson is perfectly welcome to be influenced by whatever weird American and European filmmakers he likes or doesn't like.
Yeah.
How do you feel about any of this, Mr. Royer? Tell us how you feel about socials. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, they should be exterminated. No.
Yeah. There was a ground plan laid in the 30s, and it should be upheld. No,
It just follows the plan.
Is there a point in Wes Anderson's movies where you go, "This is enough"?
Not really, but I mean, I feel like I maybe have had I maybe had my fill after a while. You know, like there's enough whimsy to fill me.
Right, and usually, but wouldn't you usually say that's like has more to do with the aesthetic?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
I've been turned off by Wes Anderson movies, but it's never because I think that he's punching down on
No,
society.
absolutely not. I mean, he feels fairly apolitical, right?
Yeah, or at the very least, he feels like I don't know if you saw The Holdovers, but it's like a movie about a bunch of parochial school people that get left, they get left at the school over winter break. Wes Anderson feels like he was a holdover as a child. Like he feels like he came from money but couldn't relate to. I mean, that's essentially what is okay. So a lot of what this article goes into is that she's mad at his framing devices. Couldn't there possibly be a creative reason that every movie that he does is either somebody reading from a book or opening a diary or something like that? I mean,
a lot of directors have different framing devices that they go off of. I mean, that's like saying she's pissed at Nolan because he does something with time every time.
I mean, you can be pissed at him, but I mean, it's his choice, and if you know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
right?
you don't have to watch the movie by the same director.
well, right, but a good example in that regard would be to say, well, he's playing with time because he's elitist against meditation or something.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's or like people that could live in the moment. I don't know. It's what this feels like somebody who's reaching for a deadline. Somebody had like their editor said, we need a take. Well, Asteroid City's popular. What do you have to say about this, Susan? Her name's not Susan. Is there a Wes Anderson? Could you put like a number one? Like what's your top? Your tippity top of the Wes Anderson.
Tenenbaums.
Tenenbaums? Royal Tenenbaums. Okay.
Absolutely.
Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, for me it's Grand Budapest as well. Really? But Royal Tenenbaums is high up there. I mean, Rushmore's great. But these are movies that employ these gimmicks. Maybe Rushmore not so much. Essentially, it seems like this person is angry that Wes Anderson got popular.
Yeah.
I think if you're any kind of filmmaker that has any kind of juice, I think that you immediately get swept up in an awards circuit. And Wes Anderson was popular immediately after his first movie, Bottle Rocket. Mm-hmm. And then he did Rushmore, which made him even more popular. And then, at that point, probably everything you do comes out at fucking Cannes. And you're going to spend a lot of time in goddamn Europe. And by the way, just being into European shit doesn't make you elitist. You know how I know? Because most European countries are poor and sad.
Well, even if you take the trajectory of his career and where he came from career-wise, it's not like he was some golden boy with deep pockets that was just thrown in because he was a Nepo baby or whatnot. He was a very grassroots indie filmmaker that made it big. It's like saying Tarantino is an elitist when Tarantino was a fucking blockbuster clerk and then wrote his own film, got financing, and became hugely successful.
First of all, how dare you?
But
it was not a blockbuster.
Was it?
Can you imagine Tarantino wearing that fucking blue shirt and
I can, but he wasn't.
And admonishing people for not rewinding their videos. Actually, I could see him do it.
I mean, it was a South Bay store, right?
Yeah, it was over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my point is that it's funny to call someone elitist when they became their journey through to their success was very grounded and very non-elitist in a way.
Right.
And this writer she threw it at him like, you're just this guy from Texas. What do you it's almost like you're just this guy from Texas. what do you think who do you think you are? And I'm like,
It's not quite the same as growing up in Chelsea. You know what I mean?
all right.
Yeah.
About halfway through, I thought, okay, this person's just kind of punching for clicks and
Right.
almost like ignore them. But it did kind of enrage me a little. So,
And to be fair, Mike, that is part of the problem with our show is because like what we want to do is try to get people to be better readers of media. But the thing is that we keep coming back to, and this is a perfect example of it, is this is just a clear example of somebody that had a deadline and just had to like come up. Their paper is kind of pinko, and like they just needed a story. Asteroid City's out, and let's find an angle that's like suits our audience. But the thing is, like, man, be objective. You don't have to love Asteroid City. By the way, I did not like Asteroid City.
Same.
And you mentioned it earlier, Mike. There's a scene that she rags on.
right.
So Asteroid City's doing all these things. It's this movie that's framed by a theater framing device that, in my opinion, doesn't work very well. I
don't like it.
It's got this kind of southwestern aesthetic, but it's very, very stagey. I don't think there's a superficial reason that he's doing it. I think that he had an idea. I don't think that the movie succeeds on its own terms, so that's why I don't think it's good. But this writer takes this movie for task because despite all of the things that the movie tries to do, at the end, the movie has the temerity to throw in a claymation dancing roadrunner.
It's like a puppet.
Well,
And it said it was crudely animated. It was like, not really. She didn't like this Roadrunner.
Well,
And we are outing her as a she, so. She said it was a fuck you to the audience that this Roadrunner came and danced.
Now let me put a hypothetical in front of you, Mike.
Let's do it. I used to hate the hypotheticals, but now I love them.
Let's say that there's a movie that takes place in the desert. Okay?
Yes.
You're in the desert.
Feeling dry.
And the movie is very heightened, very cartoonish, very stylized.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We don't have to name the cartoon series, but cartoon series that
Would Acme be involved?
maybe,
Okay.
maybe it's a series that I don't know. They were going to make a live action movie of, but it got canceled by somebody we may or may not work for. And
The best.
this is what they do. So it's the aesthetic is very born out of that cartoon. By the end of this, you have this deep existential movie about death or whatever. Fine.
Oh, shit.
But when it's all over and the credits are rolling, can you think of any reason why they might put a dancing Roadrunner in that? I can't.
Or you're asking why they might use
Yeah,
it?
could you think of one reason why they might?
Maybe lighten the load a little?
Oh, okay. Why this?
It's breaking the fourth wall a little bit, like,
Oh.
I didn't see it, but I
No,
saw
no,
I saw the scene.
That's literally it. But also, it is just a direct homage to the goddamn Roadrunner. Sorry, Mr.
Yeah,
Frank, you were going to
fine.
go on to a diatribe.
No, I just want to add one small thing.
Did you think it was a fuck you to the audience?
No. But also, there's a fucking claymation alien in the film.
Yes, there is. Which is more offensive.
Yeah.
To our alien
That was
friends?
much more offensive.
That's like
Well,
saying...
it's not offensive. It's
That's
just,
like saying it's unrealistic that this happened to Superman when you're talking about a fucking guy who flies and is an alien. Like, you're
Yeah, okay. But look, the movie's trying to do... There's a much more popular and vastly more entertaining than podcast than this one. They have a
about
phrase,
movies, because that's impossible. Because this
we're
is
the only
literally
one.
the only one.
No, we're the only one that does that. They talk about culture and stuff. But no, we're the only one that does movies. But they had this, they call it doing an art. When a movie's going out of its way to be subtextual and substantive and metaphorical and things. I will fully admit that it's possible that what they're doing in that scene is doing an art. But
It's
at
not
the
even
same
scene.
time,
It's like a credit scene.
No, not
No,
the,
he's
not
talking
the,
about the alien.
claymation.
Oh, the alien. Okay.
But the thing is, it's
Jeff Goldblum.
it's hard to get mad.
who
at
like
one.
hums. He doesn't even have a line.
Wait,
Really?
he comes?
No, he hums.
Excuse me?
Oh,
He doesn't even like. He doesn't have a line, right?
Yeah,
He's like, no, 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 no.
we're gonna shit on Jeff Goldblum now?
not
No,
my
I'm not
watch.
shitting on him. I'm
No,
just
I
saying
loved
that.
Not in this house.
I'm just saying it's funny that it's like and Jeff Goldblum as the alien, and it's like he doesn't say anything.
He doesn't
it's like
even-
Groot. It's like your whole thing
Oh,
with
the Groot
Vin
thing is
Diesel and
so
Groot.
fucking-
Oh, well,
dumb.
please divert.
Just everyone's like, "Oh, Vin Diesel is Groot." I'm like, really? He's really Groot. He just goes, "I'm Groot." And like, anyone could do that.
Yeah, that's my point with Goldblum and the alien.
It's a money laundering thing, frankly. It's got to be a money laundering thing the way they gave him.
But Mike, no one can sound like they got naturally hit in the throat with a brick.
You can't use ChatGPT to do a
JetGBT.
Jazz GBG
to do a Vin
This is your
Diesel voice.
sketch comedy.
No, the Groot thing is so dumb. But and it's only followed by stupidity by the I'm Rocket Raccoon. Look at me.
Well, Jesus, if I knew this, if I knew you had this take loaded in your back pocket, we should have started with this.
F yeah. I mean, it's good to be like I'm all for Andy Serkis school of
Well, he actually
acting.
says and acts in his stuff.
I'm with you there, and the other thing is, stunt casting is always kind of dumb unless it's not publicized. But yeah, that's a very like look at me kind of thing. It's like I don't know if you guys remember when like the South Park movie came out and they made this huge deal about George Clooney playing the dog.
right.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. Part of the reason we want to highlight this without actually. And you might stumble across it out there. This is kind of an older article because Asteroid City's done and done.
Asteroid City's been wiped off the map.
It's been obliterated.
Like Dante's Peak.
It's been Dante's Peak. It's been volcanoed. It's the proverbial metro train in volcano.
Been choloed.
It's
The
been
Cholos v lava was a great.
Why is Asteroid City anti-cholo?
Well,
It hates Dickies. It hates big
well,
White Sox.
Dickies are not that breathable, and you're out in the desert. Right?
That's true.
It's just so.
No, look, this is a very long-winded article. You know, she brings up his love for Elia Kazan. She brings up his love for framing things in the Academy ratio. Whatever your deal is with the Academy ratio is, then you've got a whole A24's worth of bad news coming your way, because I guarantee you there's going to be a bunch of hipster shit coming out in 4x3 in the next 20 or 30 years, as long as people think. And I'll agree with you. It's a bit of a gimmick.
Hot
but you know what?
take incoming.
There's a reason. There's a reason people use it. It's not always for us to agree.
Okay, I have another take, but I don't want to
Take it.
this.
Diverge.
At some point,
Divergence. Starring Shailene
Shailene
Woodley.
Woodley.
at some point, going back to black and white could be called a gimmick, right?
Well, no, because black and white can be a contrasty format that can actually do things for the scene.
But a lot of directors will say that they use the different aspect ratio to cause like claustrophobia or different like.
Oh brother.
yeah,
feelings
that
of the
feels
viewing.
that you would have to take that scene by scene, because like just to say that you've squished things into the Academy ratio and that makes the whole film claustrophobic. Well, I can tell you a whole bunch of people that grew up pre-HD TV era that had to watch TV in 4x3 for hundreds of years.
Well, that's exactly my point. Is people grew up watching black and white, and then it went to color, and then they're
yeah,
like,
but nobody calls Leave It to Beaver oppressive.
but they say like, oh, I'm using black and white because it's nostalgic, and it's like, but it wasn't nostalgic for the people that watched it in black and white.
Well, exactly. I think to say that would betray a very amateur filmmaker, and I don't think that thoughtful filmmakers would only employ that for the sake of making you feel trapped or claustrophobic. I think they're doing it because they want to draw your eye to a very particular part of the frame. If they're doing it for good reasons, there are probably people that do it for gimmicky reasons. But I don't know. That's like a deep dive.
Doing Justice League in 4x3 there's no fucking.
Is that happening?
That did happen. Snyder did it in 4x3 Yeah,
What?
when he redid his.
fuck him. That's
pointless.
Yeah,
That's pointless.
He did it in black and white and 4x3.
Okay.
Well, can we put him down?
No,
Can we take him to shelter and put him down?
Snyderites
He's doing it himself.
The Snyderites will get you.
Well, don't worry. Rebel Moon's 4x3 black and white.
Did you watch
sequences.
Rebel Moon?
No, but you did. Don't lie.
I
to me.
didn't.
Don't
I swear to God, I
fucking lie
didn't.
to me.
I swear to God, I
100%
didn't.
you watched Rebel.
I did not.
Twice.
Taking off my tequila glasses.
Uh-oh.
There's no way that you didn't
Oh,
watch
shit.
Rebel.
I didn't.
I'm witness
I've thought
to
about
this.
hate. I've thought about hate watching it, but
Guys, I'm gonna let a cat
I'm
out of the bag.
reporting
here.
from the
We're
scene
gonna let a
here.
cat out of the bag here. This is the first. Surprise! The first time it's come up in episode 5, 6, whatever this is.
Could be 5.
BV soups.
yeah, I liked it.
You're a big fan.
Yeah, I like it.
You defend it.
What's BV soups?
Batman versus Soup.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah, but I won't defend Justice League. I won't defend
Are they not?
Aquaman.
Are they
There's
not-
only
to
one
find-
good. It was the second Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
I thought you were going to say the first one.
No, the second one is the only good DC movie, right?
Oh, we could.
Wonder Woman's pretty good.
We've opened up a can.
Wonder Woman was okay.
Wonder Woman's good.
whatever you think of any of the DC movies, whether you love
James
them or hate
Gunn
them,
represent.
they're a rudderless ship. We'll just put it that way.
Do you guys? Okay, I was thinking this on the drive over.
Please.
Which was about 100
Please take us
miles.
away from this article.
Will there ever be a superhero movie that you'll be jazzed about again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
When
Because I don't think so.
The Batman
I don't think
too.
so.
I like
Honestly,
the first Batman.
It could be Mr. Wonder if they or whatever it is. Like it could be like the Intolerable or what I don't know, whatever fucking B grade comic movie. It can be anything. It could have been the Eternals if they just had a break. Like if they had taken like 5 years off, then like whatever it would have been next, I'd been like, oh cool, this could be interesting. I just want to see them take a break. And like there are people that I really admire who'd say, no, we need just them to keep cranking it out and figuring it out. No, I just want a break. Let them
Just
put their creative shit to work elsewhere. Whatever it is next, I'll be interested. I don't know if I'll be excited because my heart is cold. But I'd give it a shot.
I think I was done after Endgame. Was Endgame the second one?
Well,
The next one?
Okay,
Yeah.
we are diverging, but I'm happy to go there.
We are Shailene
Woodleying. I also that was also my excuse to be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I actually thought that they kind of nailed it. Not to say that it's like a great film, but I was like, you know what?
I
In
really
terms
liked
of what we need to like give it a nice finale to wrap it up, it was just what I needed. And I didn't need any more. Just what I needed. And oh wow, that's a weird effect that we just discovered.
Weird or the best. Can we do the whole show that way?
God, I wish.
Dude, that would be great.
We'll just get
Because we'd only get like 4 autistic dudes listening, and they'd be like, they'd love it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say we'd only get 4 less listeners than we already do.
No, there'd be like 4
we get 4
hardcore
actual
dudes,
sentences in the whole time.
4 dudes that are like into Cylon porn. Insert. Well, give me the voice.
Okay, well, I mean, so ultimately,
We Shailene Woodleyed a
The
lot
verdict
here.
is this author of
Yes.
this article, it's pathetic.
they have an agenda.
And
Which,
I don't even believe that. Yeah.
yes, they
I
have an agenda.
don't actually believe they're saying.
Exactly. You know what? No, thank you for saying that, Mike, because I think that's the takeaway I want to take from this. As we want to try to help people be better media ingesters, it also helps to bear in mind that most of what you see out there is people going for points.
Yep.
Even if it's not, this is not a social media post. This is a news article. But at the end of the day, this is a news article by somebody who's a staff member of a publication that has a deadline that has to generate content. That's what this feels like to me, because there's nothing about Wes Anderson's movie making that is so particularly elitist. Nothing about the way he frames his shots,
Fucking long hair,
or the way he has pastel colors. He's a weirdo, and that's what's great about him.
Did you notice the aside in the article that was like, oh, a friend of mine once said Wes Anderson is the kind of guy that bought a suit when he was a 10-year-old and just kept buying, and like it was just some dumb weird aside.
That means he's a fucking dork.
Yeah,
and he made good on it. Good for him.
Yeah, we should be celebrating it.
We should, and we are. And we will.
Okay, here's a
So
question.
we stan Wes Anderson.
I don't want to say we stand him, but
Well,
we celebrate.
How can he get back on track?
He's
That's
been
a
on
question.
track.
Do you think he's been on track?
Well, when did he leave? When did he jump the track?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've just kind of lost interest after Isle of Dogs.
Well, I think that he's played with his little toys a little bit too much, but I don't think he's ever lost sight of who he is or what he does.
But do you think he should still continue, like, keep doing what he's doing, or do you think he should like branch out and cast against
That's
type?
an interesting thing. I would
Right?
I double down on this and say, how many more movies can he do the same shtick
Right.
before it gets old?
But that's the magic of Wes Anderson, is that every time you think you're tired of him, every time you think you're ready to be done with this shit. Because I agree, you've had enough after a certain point.
Right.
Every time you feel like you've reached that point, he sucks you right back in because he's good at what he does.
But
Then
is it more of a like a cultish feeling of like,
No,
everybody
I
has
think
to
he
love
is a
Wes Anderson
legitimate-
now, and like we kind of go along
I think
with it?
he's a legitimate good storyteller, and I think his storytelling prowess is effective. I just think that sometimes he gets lost in his own aesthetic, and when he does, it really doesn't work. But when that's able to blend into the background, it becomes an effective tool, and he's really good at wielding it. And I don't think that he's lost that yet. He may eventually, but he hasn't yet for me. I don't know.
What's your least? What's
the number?
What's your
what's the
least
zero?
favorite Wes Anderson movie?
You know, for me, it's one that a lot of people love, but like I was never a Moonrise Kingdom guy.
I can see that.
And I also didn't love Life Aquatic all that much.
I don't like Life Aquatic either.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I like Bill Murray. I
don't know. I mean, I don't put you on the spot to pinpoint it, but why didn't?
I felt like, so it always comes back to, we were talking about framing devices, and it always comes back to me, and like the framing device in that one was just listening to like Sway George play his guitar. And then like it didn't feel like it was about anything. And then you could maybe say that about all of his films, but I could always grasp the through line with most of his stuff, but with that one, I had a hard time figuring out what it was actually about, and that could just be me. That one was tough for me, just because it's like full of people that I love, but none of it moved me or entertained me in a particular way. But
Actually, I might correct mine. I think Asteroid City was my least favorite.
yeah, I don't blame you for that. But you know what? Also, I will say this about Wes Anderson: he's a lot like the Coen brothers or P.T. Anderson, where sometimes you gotta watch it 3 or 4 times. And I'm not saying that's always great, but like think about the Coen brothers. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I did not like Lebowski the first time I saw it.
right? Nobody did. I don't know anyone who's like, oh, I just picked up on it immediately. But now it's everyone's most quotable film to revisit a past episode. So I mean, I think Wes Anderson does have that quality about him. I think there's a lot more going on under the hood than we give him credit for, and certainly more than this Birkenstock wearing weirdo is willing to give him credit for.
Do you think his movies are still making money? Are they making money?
Yeah, Asteroid City was really popular. Now I don't know if that. I think it might have been kind of riding the wave of like the Barbenheimer thing, but actually it was pre Barbenheimer. But yeah, I mean, I think he's doing well enough. I mean, his movies can't cost much, so
No.
Anyway, anything else? Any final thoughts about Wes Anderson, Mr. Frank?
Nope.
I'll just never forgive him for the
Way
fucking...
to way to generate content.
This has been like the third last thought thing that we've done.
I'm glad I'm carrying Frank's.
Thank you for being the wind beneath our
This
wings.
is like the third round of any last thoughts we've done. We gotta move on to the next segment.
I'm the Bette Midler of this.
You've clearly
segment.
never seen Jerry Springer. All right. Well, in turn,
I saw him at a football game once.
oh wow. Well, he's
big deal.
Now he's also gray. Okay.
He died?
He's dead.
When?
He be dead.
6 months
year?
ago.
He took the loss.
Why'd you do it?
I didn't. Well,
He's in God's
Money.
junk folder. All right.
What?
what does that mean? Does God have a folder?
Okay.
I
Well,
mean, like, is he like sorting to go to heaven or hell?
I think I may have cribbed that one from another film podcast. Shout out to the movie microscope. Actually, no, that's not possible. We're the only ones who've ever done it.
We went to the movies 'cause I know you like Wes Anderson. You held my hand the whole time, and no joke, you have the softest skin. Oh, 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 oh.
Media! First of all, where's my ice? This is an egregious offense.
Why'd you look at me? I
Hit
don't have your
pause.
ice.
Go down and get your ice.
I'm not pausing. We're recording.
Did you bring ice up?
By your
ice
feet.
bucket.
Guys, there's only one sin for the listeners out there.
Only
right
one
now
sin?
that you can really commit against me as an adult man, and it's stealing my
buggery?
ice. No,
Stealing your
buggery's
ice.
fine.
Gotcha.
Buggery's fine.
Buggery's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, they just
This
put
is the
you-
90s.
They just press gang you into service for that.
I'm stuck in the 90s where I just say things like, this is the 90s, when I mean, you should be more advanced than that.
Good ice.
You'll cut this out.
Aren't we a fancy establishment that we have an ice bucket?
Oh, please don't touch the ice, for fuck's sake.
All right, guys. Well, there's only one third way that we adjudicate the crimes that we find out there in the cinematic universe that are really making us want to cut. And that is by examining a mysterious media oddity. And we're going to do that right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch a thing this is a thing that I stumbled upon, unfortunately. But I think it's going to teach us a lot. I think that we're going to watch it right now, and we're just going to watch it once and just kind of.
Is that who I think it is?
And just react to it.
Who do you think it is?
Rory, you know who that is.
From there, we're going to,
don't.
and then we'll examine it.
Who do you think it is?
Breckenmeyer?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Second.
Breckenmeyer just got married again, I think.
Now, that's a celebrity.
I'm laughing.
It's like you're his neighbor.
No,
It's like, did you hear about Breckenmeyer? You just
he
got
just got married.
That's a celebrity dish that we need.
we love Breckenmeyer.
It is Breckenmeyer.
Well,
after we watch it, we're gonna look up who this is.
Well, I don't know if we'll find it. Okay, so here we go. So this is gonna be a special thing, and it's gonna teach us a lot about the world and ourselves.
is this from values.com again?
No, it's not. It's not. It might as well be though.
It's fucking Breckenmeyer.
Okay, so just before we get going here, our first frame is of a man. He's wearing a polo shirt. He looks like he's in the kitchen of some kind. Let's see what he's got to say to us.
All right, Chief. Time for homework.
Chief.
One more level.
That's
You got a
definitely.
book report, buddy.
Kid playing
I'll do it
video
later.
games.
It's late.
He fucking
Mom said I
hates
could
this
stay
kid.
up.
Oh, he hates this kid
So
so
the
much.
kid's not playing ball with Dad.
Hey,
Turn it off.
I can't see.
Yeah, I'm standing.
Turn it off.
He's throwing it down.
Mom, tell your husband to move.
Mom,
Let him
tell you.
finish, honey.
Husband.
What?
Brad is.
Oh, he's
done.
gonna throw the TV.
He's gonna murder the entire
Oh,
family.
he's picking up the game system. And Mom's not having it. We put it in the trash.
With milk? Is that 2%?
He's milking it.
I don't know how. Is milk very corrosive?
I don't know where this is going.
Book report.
Now.
Is this a thing for like school?
The kid's getting up and he's gonna go do the report.
Yeah. I'm with the dad here. Yeah.
The mom is
That's so turned on.
horrified.
Yeah, she wants it right now.
And he's going, oh, that's it.
That's it.
Wait, what is
That's
it?
it. What was the book? What do you think the book was?
Oh my God. Okay, so first of all,
Stuart Little. I don't know why that's
Matt
funny.
Frank thinks this is Breckenmeyer. No, he still does. He's looking it
Do you
up.
think it? I don't think
it
he
came
does.
up in the search.
A modern picture.
Breckenmeyer throws video game in trash.
What?
No way. No fucking
Is that
way.
true? Come on. Is that the search you used?
I
Okay.
started typing it in and it autofilled. So other people think it is.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Well,
Fair
let's. Hey, listen.
We're derailing the segment.
Yes.
No, this is pretty big. I mean, if you say it's Breckenmeyer,
Who can tell me what the fuck we just saw?
well,
What the fuck did we just see? What is the message of this film? It feels like a short film.
it's like a PSA for dads to
So you first
grow
of all,
a pair and start telling their ratty, bitch ass kids.
bitch ass kids.
Thank you, BAKs.
Yes.
To do their fucking book report. Book report. Like it's.
okay.
I love the idea. It's a book report.
Yeah.
Like this kid's
never-
reading a book.
Well, yeah. Maybe it could be an audiobook. He read it.
Oh, that's a slippery slope.
Right. Now we're getting back into familiar territory. Matt, what's going on in this video?
It's a porn.
Okay.
Are you running your own show over
No.
there?
What's going on
Your
is
fucking
that
head in the game, dude.
listen, I've almost cracked this. What happened is this not-nosed kid wasn't doing his book report, and the psycho dad, who's way worse, decides to
Not a psycho.
pull. You don't have to pull the system out and dump milk on it.
Let's just
Oh,
keep
fine.
on evaluating.
Yeah, you don't have to. He
All right,
one.
well,
He's
Just keep going.
I'll have
Yeah.
a rebuttal. Ben
You-
Shapiro,
you don't
chill
have-
out.
Everyone have it out.
you don't have to dump
Psycho
the
dad.
system.
Psycho dad pulled the system.
Yeah, dumps it in the trash. Dumps milk on it. You can just take. You can unplug it and take it away.
He wanted to make a splash.
A milky splash.
Exactly. Come. I really can't show this to my mom now.
Were you gonna?
I
Were
was.
you really gonna?
I may have.
Oh,
brother.
Mrs.
Okay, let's hear your. Let's hear. Your
No,
take.
no. Listen,
I'd like to.
I kind of leaning towards Matt's interpretation. This guy's a bit of a psycho. However, I hate this child so much
Wait, yes.
that
The
I'm
child does suck.
happy to see any punishment met out on him.
Meted.
Yes.
Thank you.
However, I can't abide by
First of all,
Chet's behavior per se, although we don't know if this is the first straw or the last straw. You know what I mean?
well, there's a lot of undermining going on as well.
This is true. Now, I will say, if anything is going to line up behind Chet, it's
Why are you calling
Mom.
him Chet?
Well, I'm just going to give him Chet.
He looks like a Chet. I agree.
He feels like a Chet.
Fair enough.
Okay, well,
Let's call him Chet.
Or Bruno.
I didn't mean
Chet,
to derail you.
Chet seems like he's a bit aggro. It seems like his first resort was to lash out, which is why it just feels a bit unhealthy. I didn't just want your appraisal of what's happening in the thing, but also what the fuck is this video for and who's it for?
It's probably like for some LDS thing.
LDS.
Yeah.
Possible. What do you think, Mr. Frank? What do you think? Who do you
Like
Matt's checked out of the show.
He has.
I've not checked out.
It's because I've taken
diving
over.
into
No,
this.
you know-
it's because I'm the new real second host.
Let's wrap for a minute.
yeah,
here.
yeah. Let's ignore this guy
I
because
want you
he's
to
not
feel,
into it.
I want you to feel what I feel at the end, at like the fucking 60-minute
Let's
mark
get-
of
let's get
every
weird.
podcast.
Listen, I'm right. I just proved myself right.
Is it Breckenmeyer?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Jesus
if it is,
Christ.
then this is even sadder than I could have possibly imagined.
He's gotten so old.
He's not that old. It's not his age. It's that. What the fuck are you doing?
Okay, so
Okay, so obviously, this feels like some Jordan Peterson ass shit, like some make your bed shit. Women won't fuck you, or they'll never fuck you. So do your book report.
I'm wondering what. Obviously, it looks like it's an episode of something. So
No. I think
it's
this
a
is
PSA.
I do think it's a PSA. I agree with Mike on that one.
So is the PSA about just education?
no, it's about get your dumb kids in line.
Well, so first of all, I'm not going to tell you where I got this because it would obviously spell it out for us. But I will say that
PSA.com.
it does feel like it's for a certain sect of society to be like, see, just tell them to shut the fuck up and hit them. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
There's a room for hitting.
If ever there was a punchable child, this child feels
This kid is a real
pretty
ass.
fucking.
Do you think he
punchable.
could have poured the milk on the kid and that would have
Well,
been
what
just as good?
if he got a letter in the mail today that said, "Hey, cable company,
All right.
we're going to swap out your equipment. No need to send it back. We're going to send you some new ones. Just throw it away." And he's like, "Okay, let's go.
I like that approach. Let's start.
I'm going to use it."
We're gonna go back through this and we're gonna take it. We're gonna play by play it. Okay.
Well, I think the worst part is when she says, "Just let him finish, okay?"
Yeah, no, I agree. There's no innocence.
all the mom's fault, huh?
There's no pure. There's
Well,
no.
there's a lot of enabling.
Okay, so first of all,
with this
I want to start off with the first frame.
Breckenmeyer.
That you got Breckenmeyer from this.
Yes.
damn.
Makes you sad
Why?
because you recognize Breckenmeyer way too easily.
Well, you,
What
That's
kind of?
because we are the biggest. Me and
We
Mike
are.
are a huge Breckenmeyer
well,
fan.
aside from that dude in Ireland that has a shrine to him.
Just
That's
because
true, he
you
does.
just because you watch Can't Hardly Wait porn doesn't mean that this is okay.
Just because me and
Can't
Mike
hardly edge.
just because we've just because we've watched Road Trip 100 million times doesn't mean you have to yell at us.
Ooh, that's your loss. All right.
Wasn't he in another show? Like,
He was in Rat Race.
but it was like a cable
Man,
show too.
What a pull.
Oh, not Rizzoli and Isles. It was Turner and Bash or something.
Yes.
Let's not.
Was Save
I like
What's
that he's like.
about?
I like that he said it wasn't Rizzoli and Isles, but it was something.
It was the male Rizzoli and Isles. All right.
After he
There
pulled
you go.
Rat Race out
Okay,
of his urethra. All right, let's play by play this.
Come on, Brecken.
All right, Chief, time for homework.
Chief.
First of all, he calls him Chief.
Chief.
Which that-
Because he
that-
doesn't know his name.
That already tells you
it's
that,
not his child.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit?
But okay, that raises a great
Yeah,
question.
because he says
though.
your husband.
Is it even his fucking place to be milking video game systems?
Listen. Yes.
Okay, now-
first of all, this kid looks like he has a toupee.
Well, okay, I will say yes. We also stopped on a frame of this child, and he is
Oh, alopecia.
he's quite robust, and he's
It looks like what's the brother of Wednesday in the Addams Family?
at
Pugsley?
Pugsley.
Yeah, it looks like fucking
he's
Pugsley.
Pugsley-esque. Good call.
One more level.
You got a book report, buddy.
I'll do it later.
Oh, he's
Okay,
going to
first
take.
of all-
Okay, the
he's-
Defiant-
He's right next to the knives.
The defiance
shot's
there
great.
is out of.
I
off
do
the
want to. I
charts.
do think you're right to call that out, Mr. Frank. The mise en scène of the scene is definitely pointing you towards violence.
Yeah.
It's foreshadowing violence. So there might be a level of artistry here that we're not considering.
Yeah, he's
I
got
agree, I
several
agree.
knives right there.
Yeah.
that he's looking at. You pause in the frame, he's staring at these
No,
knives.
I understand that. I think
Yeah.
that there might be a
I think
level
you're onto
of
something here.
filmmaking prowess that we're not considering here. But it's late. It's
late,
book
bud.
report time.
He's been very patient.
Report
Also,
time.
one more level.
Again, what's the book?
Levels are long. They take
levels
a long
are
time.
Yeah. There's no such thing as levels in video games anymore.
It's late.
Mom said I could stay up.
See, that's the biggest
so-
biggest sin.
Pissed. He's like,
Brecken is
right.
already at 100.
Yeah.
He's already
no,
fucking gone. He snapped at sentence one.
he's not
Look,
blinking right now.
I think
Don't
he's
get me
showing
wrong.
a lot of restraint at this point.
Listen, Mike, I hate this child as much as you do.
Okay, I get
But
it.
Brecken snapped already. He's already snapped.
Well, he knows what's happening because
Look
he
at
knows
his
this. He knows this little pudwaj is
For those of you who can't see his face, he has the look of a man who just got divorced on divorce court on primetime. A better example is the guy at the basketball game that proposes to his wife and she says no on the Megatron. He's got that look on his face.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think this little
I
asshole?
I will ask why he's proposing to his wife.
Good question. Yeah. Well,
You'll cut this out
no.
to make yourself look good.
This is standard.
who has a TV in the middle of their kitchen?
Well, I've seen worse setups, but let me ask you a question.
Like you're playing video
What do you
games in
think
their
this
kitchen?
little asshole's playing? I got.
Some gun game.
It's gotta be. Well, that really narrows it down.
Well, it's probably some like
some gun game.
meaning because it's not going to
Gun
be. It's
Fest
going to be some
24.
knockoff. It's not going to be the actual thing. They're not going to pay for that
You
shit.
think that you think that they CGI generated a fucking fake video
Yes.
game for this PSA?
They're not going to pay for
but
the
they never
rights.
show the game.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're not
alright.
going to pay for the rights of
Well,
Call of
so
Duty.
Breckenmeyer has physically barriered himself in front of this fat.
I'm
little
Team
bitch.
Brecken.
You think he got really buff for this part?
No,
He
I
looks slim.
Oh, do you think maybe on set he was like,
He's like
I'm gonna be
practicing.
a real- no,
he's
I'm gonna be-
practicing pulling systems out of
no,
out
I'm
of
gonna
TVs.
be a real dick to this kid, and he won't know why. But I just want to get the best
I'm not
performance
gonna
out
lie.
of him.
I think it was very easy for Breckenmeyer to be a dick to this kid.
Hey,
Turn it off.
See,
Now he's- now
the game. It shows the game in the back.
Yeah, that's like Halo.
it's
or
like
something.
living room the game.
But he's physically he's now a physical barrier to this child's
Yes.
enjoyment of this game, and he's
He
also
does have a book report.
the PSA or the movie or whatever this excerpt is. We don't know what it is. Has gone to great lengths to let him do a little bit of a gun show here.
Well, look,
I agree.
his face is also like, I fucking hate my life right now.
Yeah.
He went from like, I snapped to like, what am I doing here?
Look, even if this is like part of a show or something, he knows that this material is Christ adjacent.
Yeah.
I can't see.
Turn it off.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
Mom, tell your husband to move.
Okay.
See,
this
now
is
that's
where he
over the
loses
line.
me.
That's
this
way
is where he
over the
loses
line.
me. Pugsley, you fucking lost me.
Yeah.
You lost me, Pugs. Sorry.
Oh, so you're on Pugsley's side.
Well,
before
I was
that.
on the side that he's got a bit psychopathic. I mean, he's like definitely reactive. But now this kid says, "Tell your husband to move."
Listen, at this point, murder is on the table. Just let him finish, honey.
Yeah,
That's
So,
what
yeah,
they say
That's what's
in the
coming
cut
next.
share.
Just let him finish, honey.
Oh my
For
god!
fuck's
And
sake.
she said that.
Oh, so
You
Yeah.
piece of shit.
listen.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
Brecken. Oh, he wants to punch her now.
Yeah, well, he's
that's
got to
part
do
of the
something.
problem.
I mean, this is like us with the Houthis right now. Yes.
The video game
This kid is
represents
the
a
Houthis.
shipping lane, and Breckenmeyer represents a good old American
Okay, this kid is
missile.
the Houthis, and the mother is Iran.
Yeah, this won't get us in trouble.
Yeah, okay, sure. Oh,
He didn't even let him.
Boom!
He didn't even let him save the game.
why does it say Vance?
So he
His name's Vance.
his name's Vance.
Of course it is.
I like Chet better, but Vance. No, you know, I,
Vance is bad.
Vance.
What's Vance short for? Vincent?
Vanceford.
Vance.
I don't know if it's short for anything.
So they just named their baby
Vander-
Vance?
Vanderchance.
Who's Vance? The kid or
Can you imagine bringing your child to the kindergarten and being like, this is Vance?
We gotta go way back for that.
Yeah,
we gotta
what-
go like 1930.
Yeah, what era is Vance?
That's like
It's
the same era as like Mordecai.
I
or
mean,
something.
it's not a very popular first name for sure.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on.
So he's ripped the
Mom!
system out of the world. Out of the world. He's ripped the system out of the world.
Is this an
And
Xbox?
It looks like an old Xbox.
It looks like that looks like a fucking like RAID charger.
Yeah, it looks like an old. In reality, it looks like a shitty cable modem. But okay.
That's a DVR. Wait, pause on that.
Vance is advancing. Vance is vancing. So that thing is in the fucking trash.
He didn't even recycle it.
Now, even though it's in the trash, it's still salvageable.
Yeah.
There was no bags.
For now.
For now. But heaven forbid any milk gets poured on it.
Milk is the kryptonite of any Xbox.
Here's the other question. This is a crucial question. Do you think that Vance paid for this system?
No.
Right.
Vance probably didn't pay for this house.
More than likely it was the father.
Do you think Vance works?
No.
Absolutely, Vance works.
No.
Okay, Mike says works.
No,
Yes.
I think
come
no.
on.
I think he
What
does.
do you think he did?
But I think he works. I think that he works in like accounts receivable in a really oppressive like.
He's got little man syndrome. I feel like he
Well, he is
doesn't
a
make
little,
anything.
he is actually physically a little man. Old. He is Breckenmeyer. He's shorter than
Whoa! Look,
cream. Milk
I
is
love
being poured,
The high pour.
and Pugsley is not impressed.
Now write your book report on the story of O, for fuck's sake.
Now, here's what I will say, Mike. This child doesn't seem that phased.
Well, he's in shock.
Did you call it shock?
Or he's
Oh, yeah.
like fucking with them and he's
He's
like
in shock. This is mind blowing.
classic shock.
I mean, the milk.
Okay, fair enough. Vance,
And my dad, Donald Trump, is gonna buy me another one.
he does have Donald hair.
Is
Okay, so the deed is
Book
done.
report.
now.
Now.
So it's
Fuck yeah!
It's the now. It's the vitriol. It's the hate.
It's not
He
hate.
hates this kid. He hates this kid.
Why don't you hate this kid?
I mean, I hate Vance a little bit more, I will say.
Yeah, I think
no,
that's fair.
Vance did nothing.
Vance-
He's trying to raise this fat kid.
Okay, but here's why Vance is fucked up. Here's what
because he's got no willpower.
here's what turns me against Vance a little bit here. He goes back to his Wonder Bread and goes back to being a sandwich artist. His wife is horrified.
Well, she's turned on.
Oh,
Clearly.
Yes.
Clearly.
he's so proud of what he did.
I mean, tonight's session is going to be off the chart.
But he's going back to sandwich artist.
and he's like,
Hey, he's like, this is how we do.
wait, did you just put the bread in the fridge?
Wipes his hands, puts. Well, yeah, I don't know what he's doing there. Well, he already took the slices he needed.
It would have been great if he opened the fridge and he closed it and then he turned around and
Where
he's
the
like,
fuck's
where's
the
fucking milk?
So this is where Vance lost me. Because I hate Pugsley, especially when he says, "Mom, tell your husband X."
I mean,
But-
that is serious.
Oh
that
no,
is
that's
a serious
slappable,
crime.
That's slappable offense.
But not Xbox milk offense.
The problem is after he
kinda is.
well, but even the milking. But after he creams on that Xbox,
yes.
the problem is he goes back to his regular routine like he does this all the time.
Yeah.
And he's only got
And-
one kid, and that kid's shocked that he's done this, so it's clearly the first time. So
This
what
is
that
not
tells
his
me
child.
is that this is not his first rodeo creaming an Xbox in front of a child.
Well,
And that's a problem.
Best Buy doesn't allow him in their stores.
I think that there's probably a 100-yard radius around any given video game
I
distribution
mean, if we're going to talk
center.
about creaming on Xbox,
Just saying. I'm just saying old Vance may...
Okay,
Listen,
well,
the
let's-
first offense is he called him chief. That's Vance sucks for that. Alone.
You're right.
I know you hate that.
I do hate it.
do you hate?
But-
If I were to say,
I hate Buddy. I hate Chief.
What
I
about
hate
Boss?
Ace. I don't like Boss, but at least it's seeped up in...
what about Captain?
Oh, I love Captain.
Oh, I do. I
Chief
call
is the
people
worst
Cap-
one.
I
Chief
call
is
people
bad.
If somebody called me Captain, I'd give him a kiss. But that's never happened to me
Note
in
to
the wild.
self: call him Captain.
That's never happened to me in the wild. Slick, Buddy,
Slick is
Ace.
bad.
Isn't it? How's it worse than Chief?
Chief's okay,
Oof.
especially for a kid. I mean, kids have no real rights.
I don't know. That kid could easily be as slick. I mean, he's wearing a fucking toupee.
Dude, the kid's only slick because he's
Okay, so
like an elephant seal.
to bring this home, why? I don't think we need to speculate too hard, but why do you think this was made, and who do you think it's being promoted to?
I think it's
I mean, it's Christ
I don't think
adjacent.
it's I
for
don't
sure.
think it's
It
a
is very Christ.
I don't think it's a PSA. I think it's not sitcom. I think it's some TV show.
Do you know that?
I don't
because
think
you
it's a TV
literally
show.
did.
No, I literally
right
I saw the clip on TikTok and somebody in the comments was like, "Yes, this is Breckenmeyer."
But why do you think this was made? Who's it for?
I think
You
it's part
start.
of a TV show. I think that it's like a Real Housewives
Okay,
type
so then
thing.
what
Really?
do you think the point of this fucking scene is? That this guy's just a
I
psycho?
think he's just the psycho husband of one of the main characters.
not
What
a
kind of a
psycho.
sad fucking sitcom is featuring this kind of lame shit?
Well, I don't think it's a sitcom, but I think it's
And I
like
don't think it's
like
lame.
an ABC.
I think this is. I think okay. I'm
I think
gonna
it's
tell
like
you.
an ABC like.
I don't think it's a sitcom.
What do you think it is, Mike?
It's some sort of PSA.
Who
It's
do
like,
you think it's geared towards?
It's like get your kids in order.
I think it is that, but I think that it's like, and I don't want to get political. I do think it's geared a little bit towards a PSA geared a little bit towards the incel crowd. I think it's a little
Incel
bit.
crowd. I mean, Frank's in that
yourself up
crowd. He can speak to
Is
that.
Vance the incel?
Well, yes, actually, he's functionarily the.
He's banging that wife.
Yeah, but that's not his kid, so we don't know if they've ever touched.
I mean, he might be. That's true.
In fact,
But they're husband and wife.
She may no. We don't know. She may.
She says your husband, or he said Pugsley calls.
Well, they're
him
husband and wife,
of the
but that's not his child.
Yeah, but they
so
may never
There's no
have consummated-
evidence that they've ever
Yeah.
had sex.
In fact,
This is an elaborate PSA.
I'm just saying the person that posted it is a very Jordan Peterson adjacent figure. JPA. And it's very do your homework and you'll be a better man. Be better man by like not playing video games kind of shit. Make your
Well,
bed
it's-
and you'll.
Sure,
I mean-
but he could have pulled the clip. The person could have pulled the clip and been like,
I mean, the
repurposed
the
it.
science was off the charts on this.
Okay, even if it's from a series, which what a fucking series.
Yeah.
Even if it is, let's say it's from an episode of a show. Even if like the end of the show, they're like, "Oh, Vance ended up murdering a school." I still think this is fodder for people who are like, "Well, see, like, fucking just put him in his place."
Yeah,
and
it definitely has PSA inspiration.
And don't get me wrong, if ever there was a fucking kid that deserved it. And by the way, come on, dude, one level. You're gonna be at that shit all night.
Just
you
do
fat
your
little
book
bastard.
report, you little shit.
Do your book report. I agree with the sentiment. But Vance,
what do you
Just
Vance,
read. Just
what do you
fucking
think
do
the-
your book report on Infinite Jest and get it over with.
Yeah,
I was going to
Jesus.
say, what do you think the book was for the book report?
Infinite Jest.
Well, no wonder why he doesn't want to do the book
Well,
report.
I mean, he's been working on it since grade 2.
Could you just read the collected works of James Joyce and do one book report for one night, please?
One night.
One night.
Noit.
Night. Could you just goddamn read Ulysses and describe it every
Fuck that book.
every fucking permutation of it for the class, please? You fat little asshole. I think maybe this is a PSA for dads who want to do finger stuff.
Hold on,
and
what?
what?
I
He
mean,
won't go to bed and he wants to do finger stuff. And he won't go to bed. He's still
Finger
playing
stuff.
He's playing that game. He's got his stupid chocolate hands on that on
Is
the
finger
remote.
stuff the pinnacle?
Well, no, but this again,
I mean,
we don't know that
Who
he's
wants to do the finger stuff?
I mean, I
Vance.
do, but it's not.
Vance wants to do finger stuff with Bethany, and you know what?
She is totally a Bethany.
She didn't she a bit of a Bethany?
PSA then.
It's send your fat kid to bed so you can do finger stuff.
Okay. The PSA is get your house in order, and then you can finger blast.
That's right. Thank you. Somebody, I feel so seen.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I feel better now because I thought that this was.
I can't wait to find out this is like a sitcom.
I thought this was an advocacy for violence against fat, horrible. Now I
She
know.
wasn't fat,
No,
but she was horrible.
no Pugsley.
Justice for Pugsley. Vance is a dick.
We've got a real disparity.
Whoa. Okay.
I mean, you can turn the game off.
In
you can
what
unplug
world
it.
is get your husband under control
You
acceptable?
don't have to throw it in the trash and dump
but it's
dairy
not,
on it.
It's not his fucking game. He don't care.
Sometimes you gotta assert yourself when you're a Vance. I think that's what this
Got to
comes down to.
advance as a Vance.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're getting to the spirit.
Van. This is funny. I'm so glad his name's Vance. All right, Chief.
Well, guys, I think that
Well, let's find out what it's all about.
we will never know, and that's
Hold on.
That's the value of this segment.
No. We got to have some closure.
We'll figure it
Okay.
out later.
Well, no, that's the value of this segment is that we decide what the closure is. So I'm going to give you my final thought on it, is that Vance
right, Jerry.
needed to do finger stuff because he's got tea time at 7 fucking o'clock. Okay, and he's
So is this a
already-
Friday?
No. This
No,
is a
because he
Wednesday.
would have to do the book report for
Oh, that's true.
for
And
the
it
next
is
day.
late.
Bethany's paying good money for that charter school, but Vance knows that could pay for them to go on a vacay to Tampa. And it's
Tampa
not
is
happening.
nice.
Yeah, well, so it's not going to happen if this little asshole keeps on draining their resources into bandwidth for his stupid game, The milk is a metaphor for other kinds of milk. And I'll just leave it there. What do you think this is about, Mr. Frank?
That last sentence was
There was
a
a lot of
doozy.
milk talk.
Okay, fine.
I think that it's still part of some series. This guy is highly wound up by his relationship, and he's taking it out on his shit kid, and
Not
his
kid.
wife's going to divorce him.
He didn't sign up for this little... I don't want to influence your reading.
Is Breck in Vance?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm Team Vance.
Okay.
Because this little shithead. I mean, he asked nicely.
Called him Chief.
What's wrong with that?
It's the same as
You
Slick.
can't remember his name.
It is the same as Slick. But you know what, guys? You know what I love about this? Is that we're all coming from a confluence of different viewpoints. I mean, she's gonna blast.
She produced a real shitbag
Yeah.
in this kid.
Also, like,
And she married a psycho. Can you imagine the ex-husband?
Ronaldo Trump.
I like
Because
that.
you need to see this child, and we will
The
link.
hair.
We will link to.
We'll
this
link
video.
and we'll throw a screenshot
so
up
you
there.
can see Ronaldo Trump.
It's pretty rough, I would think.
Well, guys, I think that we tackled that. I think that we figured it out. We solved the mystery of Ronaldo.
We did.
And I just closed. I literally just closed our backup recording. So we should probably wrap this up. castagainsttype@gmail.com. Please submit your queries and questions to us. Please also recommend this horrible show. I'm never going to say the phrase that. Yeah.
I mean,
Do
make your guests say
Yeah, go ahead and say
Do
it.
because then you don't have to slum, right?
All right, go ahead and say it.
Was it smash the like button?
Oh, you
he
did
did
it, yeah.
He did it. He knows that we're not big of whores as we appear to be. Go ahead.
And then and in the comments say more Royer.
That's right. We'll give you Royer's socias, and you can just give him all the love. you
Smash
have.
his like buttons.
And find us on the grams. Find us on the talks. Where? At Cast Against Type. Rate, review, subscribe. Please, again, send us your submissions. We want to hear from you. And I don't know. You can find us at Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all places that podcasts are sold, even though they're not sold because they're free, because everyone has one at birth.
Podcast.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for
I
coming
actually really
on.
liked it.
We can't
I'll
wait.
regret it tomorrow, but I really liked it today.
Well,
That's all we can ask.
start regretting it now, buddy. Good night, everybody.